This is Virgo Triad. It is September 6, 2017, and I'm moving into the second video of the economic and banking regulation series that I had promised to do for those that had asked, with regards to different processes that would affect what you have been attempting to try to look at in determining whether or not the TDA, Federal Reserve Bank, private secret accounts are real or not, and why things like reversals happen. This particular video is going to be dedicated to how TeleCheck works and how that would affect anything that you have attempted to do an ACH payment on and have gotten reversals, and why those reversals may not have come back to you as reversals from the original merchant. There seems to be some confusion on what TeleCheck actually is capable of doing for the merchants that have contracted with them. So to avoid any further confusion, I'm going to go ahead and make this video, which will provide you with a wealth of information on how to remain off of TeleCheck's system, because you don't want to be on their books. They can severely affect your capability of paying for anything by writing a check. Electronically or otherwise, and it will also provide you with the internal workings of how they function, bank from their company to the merchants and the banks. So getting started, I'm gonna first tell you how TeleCheck works, who they are, and what an ECA service is. Now, keep in mind that TeleCheck is just one of the second-party check processors and authorizers that are out there. There are several. There are cyber systems. There are CyberCheck. There are many. So, the biggest one happens to be TeleCheck. It's been around for a very long time, and so they primarily work the same. All of them work the same. So I'm going to go ahead and start with TeleCheck because I feel that this will give you the information that you would need really for all of them. Understanding how merchant or other parties such as a utility company can change your paper check, into an electronic debit that is paid from your checking account is going to help you to not only manage your finances, your regular finances, but it's also going to help you to understand why it is that the reversals that you may see come back to you a month or two after the fact may not come from the original creditor or merchant. We're going to go ahead and use the same scenario as what we used yesterday with the Amazon account. So let's just say that you've gone ahead and you've paid for your coffee maker with your Federal Reserve routing number and Social Security number as a check. That check is, of course, turned into what is considered a ACH. And as you saw yesterday with that process, how it goes through the clearinghouse, which is the Federal Reserve, wiring system in order for them to determine where that account is held, since you are not providing them with a bank routing number. But the process that occurs before you ever get to that point is within Amazon's internal workings. The minute that you have paid for your item, the very first thing before the order gets sent to the shipment department in order to be shipped out to you that occurs is an analysis of who is a good risk and who is a bad risk of writing a check that they would provide temporary or provisional credit for. And let me just state, I understand there's some confusion with regards to the term provisional credit. Provisional credit is a banking term. It simply means temporary credit. Technically, when you go into a Walmart or a grocery store and you write a check, the time it takes for that check to hit your bank and the bank to pay out to Walmart's bank or the grocery store's bank, that is technically temporary credit. They're taking you at will, that you are going to pay that check, that you're not going to bounce the check on them. And so it's important for you to understand that that is actually a banking term. And it's, you can look it up on Google. They use that term for the purpose of temporary processes, whether they have to do with disputing an amount, or whether they have to do with processing an amount. So just an update on that term. TeleCheck provides industry-leading check acceptance, check processing, and risk analytics. They are literally the credit bureau of check writing. They provide services to thousands of retailers and financial institutions. Some banks even use them over check systems. For about 40 years, TeleCheck has safeguarded businesses and financial institutions from check-related losses and fraud, and accepting checks has been made much easier with TeleCheck's new ECH service. And this is where it becomes pertinent for you to understand what the ECH service actually is that is provided by TeleCheck. TeleCheck's electronic check acceptance service converts a paper check into an electronic item at the point of sale. The ECA service allows retailers to accept checks as, quickly, safely, and easily as they accept a credit or a debit card. It's basically a check without paper, which is what almost all online companies do, and they don't necessarily all use TeleCheck, but most of them use a service very similar to TeleCheck. When you present the check, to them, the check is authorized through a specially designed secure system that captures banking information and the amount of the check. Once the check is approved by TeleCheck, and they do this internally by looking at what your actual history is by using your name, your address, your driver's license, in the event that that checking account has never been presented before. If the checking account has been presented before, then that checking account actually builds up a credit rating with them. So as long as you don't have any bounce checks with that checking account, then there's no issue. But with this particular scenario, you're going to have a reversal, which is going to affect not only your check writing privileges through that account, but it's also going to flag your name, your driver's license number, and your address. So unless all of those things change, and the account number, all of the account numbers that they have on file that you use, you're going to be stuck in that system for a minimum of 5 years, and they're not going to probably agree to allow you to write any more checks. I know that you have all been through a process probably somewhere at Walmart, like Walmart, where you go in, you write a check, they process the check through the register, and then they want you to sign a slip that's like a credit card slip. That is also an electronic ECA transaction. It's a little bit different, though. That captures the funds immediately. Now, what we are talking about is the ACH format of the electronic transactions. These actually convert the check into electronic form, but they're processed exactly the same way a check would be. It is not instant. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you something that's going to provide you with some information in terms of why it would be that you would be receiving reversals after the fact, possibly even up to 60 days after the fact, but you're not getting the reversals by the actual original merchant. And it is because of this little fact. Electronic check acceptance. As you can see, this is TeleCheck's actual electronic check acceptance business to business website, and it gives you the information on what their warranty program is for ECA check conversions for the processes that you would do online or in person, for those that don't want to pay the extra to have it immediately converted electronically like a wire would be. This is the type of system that Amazon, for example, uses. It says, with our check conversion and guarantee service, ECA, you can accept checks just like debit cards. Checks are converted into electronic deposits, so the payments automatically credit your existing checking account. That is considered provisional credit. And with the built-in warranty service, we guarantee payment on every check you authorize. With ACA warranty, you won't have to worry if a check is good or potentially lose a sale. The reason why is because they will cover that in the event that that does happen. And then it is upon TeleCheck to come back out after the debtor who has written the check and they then put you in a collection status to collect on that check. This is what I was referring to yesterday when someone is vetted putting in a new checking account into the system of Amazon. If you are approved because of past history of not having any bad checks, they're going to provide the payment to Amazon when it does get reversed. And it's going to take quite a while for you to see that a collection notice is being sent to the address that you provided by TeleCheck, because they are now having to collect on that check. If you have questions with regards to what I'm stating here, please feel free to put it in the comments. Once again, at the end of each week, I will do a question and answer section to try to answer everyone's questions. You're more than welcome to take a look at all of this information online. You can look at TeleCheck's consumer website at www.firstdata.com, and then you can also search Google for their business-to-business TeleCheck services, which is where you will find this particular information on the electronic check acceptance warranty. Everybody have a great day. I'll be uploading a couple more videos today and tomorrow with regards to the TDA accounts and what those are all about, and slowly we'll move through this entire process, including information on secured creditors and how their charge-offs of debts work, and different things that you can do to assist with taking care of debt that you have. So this will be an ongoing series. I hope everyone's enjoying it. Like I said, if anybody's got any points as to how I could make things more clear, I'm more than happy to take a look at any of those and try to implement them in, so that this way you are fully informed and I'm making everything as clear as possible. Everyone take care and have a great day.